I don't see real butter in restaurants anymore. I see margarine. It's very rare to find real butter in restaurants these days. I don't see real butter in most American households. Almost everybody uses butter substitute. They use margarine. Almost everybody I know that has had heart disease eats mostly margarine and vegetable oils as their main fat source. Also, lard these days. It's not even animal lard. If you look at conventional, like Crisco and conventional lard brands, it's mostly hydrogenated oils and vegetable fats. This was not the case over 100 years ago. It's really crazy that we blame animal fat for our modern diseases when most people, they don't really even eat that much animal fat anymore. Number one, margarine is extremely cheap and vegetable oils are extremely cheap. The main reason why people don't eat healthy, their main excuse is that it's too expensive. If you had the choice between a pound of margarine for 99 cents and a pound of butter for $3, which one would you choose if all you cared about was price? Exactly, margarine. Nobody uses real butter, okay? Also, red meat. Number one, everyone that I talk to says red meat is expensive, okay? They don't eat red meat, and if they do, it's ground beef, and it's only occasionally. You know, again, everyone that I know has had a heart attack, okay? They only eat red meat on average 1 to 3 times a week maximum. And most of those times that red meat is from hamburgers. And they eat french fries, they supersize it, and they drink sodas. Okay? In population studies done on meat eaters and does red meat cause heart disease, or does animal fat cause heart disease? Does animal products cause heart disease? Okay, in the general population, people who eat red meat generally are what you call non-adherers. And what that means is, if they eat red meat, they are probably not adhering to government guidelines. They're probably doing every single thing that the government says is bad for you, or at the very least, they're not following the normal healthy suggestions. You know, the people who follow healthy eating advice in these population studies, they eat chicken, they eat fish, okay? They eat mostly whole grains, okay? They do exercise, they do all this stuff. And they're probably going to be significantly healthier because of this, but they don't eat red meat. So red meat eaters compared to non-red meat eaters, who does that leave? That leaves the people exercising, eating the mainstream American healthy diet, vegans and vegetarians, okay? The Seventh-day Adventist study, now that's something I'm going to have to make a whole nother video on, but essentially most of these population studies, everyone just assumes that they're controlled for these confounding factors. They're not controlled for red meat consumption in the form of hamburgers, french fries, and sodas versus ribeye steaks with broccoli and mixed green salad, okay? Or whatever you think is a healthy red meat eating diet, okay? So the point is, what happens when you remove all this junk from the red meat meal, you know? What happens when you remove margarine, when you eat butter instead? Now, there are studies that actually show switching out butter for vegetable oil, when you eat butter instead, health markers actually improve. Now, a lot of these studies are very weirdly manipulated, so if you think you have contradicting evidence, post the study down below so I could take a look at it. And if I'm wrong, I'll be happy to change my opinion. But I've seen everyone that I know that has diabetes and heart disease. They don't eat much red meat. They eat a whole lot of pasta. They eat a whole lot of pasta, a whole lot of pizza, a whole lot of vegetable oils, margarine, and the saturated fat that they get is from a couple eggs every now and then. And it's from dairy products. It's from cheese. It is from ice cream. They eat a whole lot of ice cream. The peanut butter that they get it has hydrogenated oils in it. They eat a lot of sugar. They don't even realize the amount of sugar they're eating from their condiments, from their ketchups. How many people do you know that eat a paleo diet? Like, be honest, okay? How many people do you know that eat a ketogenic diet? Okay, that have been doing this all their life and then develop diabetes or heart disease. I mean, look at the work of Jason Fung, Dr. Jason Fung, who uses intermittent fasting and a low-carb diet to reverse diabetes. Look at Dr. Michael Eades, okay, Eades. Okay, he wrote the book Protein Powder. Watch his lectures. Listen to all of the case studies. Look at all the people in the World Carnivore Tribe on Facebook who are somehow reversing gout, arthritis, diabetes, obesity, and everything with a meat-only diet. Look at all the people on Reddit. Look at all the people on YouTube. All the people I've met. They find it incredibly impossible not to reverse their diseases and get extremely amazing results, reversing depression, insomnia, which is something I've done, reversing anxiety, clearing the brain fog, all these things on a meat-heavy diet where you remove carbohydrates and vegetable oils and these things. If you think that red meat causes diabetes, causes obesity, causes gout, you are definitely misinformed. Absolutely. It's crazy. It's very hard for me to even, keep my mind open at this point, just seeing the weight of evidence stacked against these people. The only evidence y'all have these vegans have is population studies. And these vegan gurus who tie studies done on statin drug LDL correlations. It's crazy. And in YouTube comments, these damn trolls, they are very quick to make absolute statements. Well, you're wrong. Red meat causes heart disease. The evidence is clear. And then when I ask them, hey, send me a study that proves it, they don't fucking send me any studies. They just say, oh, look up yourself. You're full of shit. Like, bro, I've been looking for so long. If you have a study that tells me otherwise, show it to me. And the thing is, all they have is population studies. And most of these people that comment on YouTube, they haven't actually researched it like I have. They haven't spent years and years researching this, looking for the reason why LDL is correlated with heart disease. I was vegan for 1 entire year, and my health fell apart. I did all by the book. I followed all of the top tips for making vegan diet successful. And just like these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ex-vegans who are vegan for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, even 10 years, even 20 years, they come out and they talk about all the problems they're having once the dogma fog has lifted. We do it, a lot of people don't do veganism right, but even the ones that do, they experience these tremendous problems. And as long as these vegans are attached to this dogma, as long as they're on the vegan hype train, as long as they want it to be true, they're never going to be able to accept the facts that hundreds and thousands of ex-vegans started eating meat again. Their problems went away. They removed the grains and inflammatory foods. They improved. And you look at ancient Egypt, okay? They were not as healthy as depicted in the artwork. If you look at the sculptures and the accurate, the anthropological data we have, the carbon isotopes, they show that this was a largely vegetarian eating society, ate limited amounts of meat, and they had great incidences of heart disease and diabetes even before processed sugar was invented. They had severe weight problems and things in their society, and heart disease, all sorts of problems. But somehow red meat's the problem.